My music magazine product was based on the magazine Top of the Pops and Smash Hits. I based it on these because these magazines were existing products in the market that have the same target audience as mine. When doing some research, I found that the music magazines, such as the two I'm looking at, both use large images on the full page on a double page spread. I then took this idea and used it in my own magazine, but added my own effect to it. The colours in which I used for this magazine, I used throughout the contents page, double page spread and front cover. I chose to develop this by using a hot pink colour, which I found was a popular colour used in magazines for the same target audience for the magazine I was creating. To challenge the forms, I only had one main house colour, unlike the rest of the magazines, because they had more than one bright colour. I did not want to use this because it then could become to look tacky and colours could clash. The conventions for the layout of a music magazine were very simple in a magazine that I was looking at. They were very easy to understand and follow through. The colours in which I used for this magazine, I used throughout the contents page, double page spread and front cover. I chose to develop this by using a hot pink colour, which I found was a popular colour used in magazines for the same target audience for the magazine I was creating. To challenge the forms, I only had one main house colour, unlike the rest of the magazines, because they had more than one bright colour. I did not want to use this because it then could become to look tacky and colours could clash. The conventions for the layout of a music magazine were very simple in a magazine that I was looking at. They were very easy to understand and follow through. I also used this idea in my music magazine, making it easy for the target audience to understand that the magazine layout and how to read through it. When first creating my double page spread, I used a layout where the text was crushed. I then thought about how I could change and develop my idea by spreading the text out and using a larger font, making the text clearer and easier to read. On my double page spread, I have chosen to use a large image on the right hand side of the page to make the page look full and filled. On the left side, I have chosen to use text so it looks like a typical music magazine article. I have set the text out into two columns, which shows the layout on how to read the article. I used the same layout as existing magazines, but then challenged the existing forms by adding larger, brighter coloured shapes to fit in with my house style. Throughout the double page spread, I used my house style colour, hot pink, in a way making the text and images stand out, complementing each other. In my research, I looked at the different contents pages. I did not like the layout of the Top of the Pops. I found that this was very confusing. I don't want to use this in my product because I want my house style colour to be seen as easy, simple and to understand, but affecting and challenging the existing products in using simple ways to show effect. I took ideas from both magazines using large page numbers, showing an image for the page, showing a preview on what is going to be in the magazine. Around the photos, I had used a thick black line to make the images stand out, adding small effect to the images which I had used. The text on the contents page was short and snappy, but when looking back to my research, I found out that they go into a bit of detail on the contents page, so when developing my contents page, I added more detail into what was going to be on the pages. Finally, on my contents page, I added large bright shapes into the background, therefore to fill out the page looking busier and adds effect for repetition through the magazine, following along with the house style that I have used, like what is on the big double page spread and front cover. When creating my front cover, I looked through the styles which has been used in their line of magazines, but only took a few parts from it. I did not want to use lots of colours like they did. I wanted it to be plain with large images as my main image, so it would link with my house style as I used a large full page image for my double page spread. I once again used the large bright shapes but lowering the amount I have used and only placing one along the bottom of the page, building the effect and showing what is going to be through the magazine. I placed the masthead in the top left hand corner, which is following the research that I found about all magazines. They do this so when they are stacked in shelves in shops, they can be seen well. I also use the house style colour, making this the online text on this page in this colour. This shows the reader that it's the masthead and is one of the most important parts of the front cover. When I was in the process of developing my front cover, I came across the same problem as my contents page. I didn't add enough information on my strap lines and main cover line, so I developed this and making them more of a simple sentence than a few words. Using this, I also added plugs and puffs to make it more effective and attracting the reader. My main strapline did not stand out from the other unlike the other magazines with my target audience. I did not want to put them in different colours because I thought the colours would clash, so I decided to challenge the other magazines by simply adding a thin borderline around the edge of the main strapline. Broader and brighter, standing out from the background, unlike the other magazines.